Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean. This is In the Mix, episode 118 of our Isle of Man series. I hope you're having a good week. I've had a great day, but as far as our results are concerned so far this week, they haven't been fantastic, and we've got two massive sides, probably the two biggest sides in the Premier Division this year in this episode. So before we know it, it might be like a real proper form slump that we're trying to drag ourselves out of. We'll jump in, we'll have a look. I'll let you know guys what I'm talking about. So first up, we of course play Manchester United, currently top of the division, currently reigning champions. If we look at their overview, in the last 14 years, they have won 3 Premier Division titles, and they are looking to secure their third in a row this year. They are currently 9 points clear of Manchester City in second spot. They have been at the top of the division the entire way through, I think from round 1 all the way through to where we are today. For us, that league position graph doesn't look fantastic, dropping down to 10th position. We're a point behind Brighton in 9th spot. We are 6 points behind Leeds and Liverpool, who are both equal on 53 points for that final Europa League spot. Originally, at the start of this week, I had aspirations to go after European football, but now, knowing that Norwich have a game in hand on us, I think we're just focusing on finishing in the top half, which was our goal for this season. But it is frustrating that wheels have kind of come off a little bit. Of course, if you haven't watched yesterday's episode, Monday's episode, we haven't won a game yet this week. I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen today because we're playing two of the better sides in the division, first and second respectfully. But if we can probably, just get a little bit of character, a little bit of battle, maybe snag a point here or there, that would be a fantastic improvement for us. I think we are going to make a little tactical tweak. We're going to go to our positive structure for today. Everybody in the roles that I would prefer they were fulfilling, not necessarily the role that they want to be playing. And hopefully we can kind of turn it around a little bit. Elliot Blaw's going to come back into the lineup. Rossi, who we bought in January, that was part of one of our episodes last week, he just hasn't worked out, unfortunately. We paid all that money, we've given him all that cash each week, and sometimes transfers just don't necessarily work out. He's got all the stats to do what I want him to do, he just doesn't seem capable of actually getting it done at the moment, which, while it sucks, it's it's one of those things you have to deal with throughout the course of a save. So Blore will come back in on that left-hand side. He didn't have a great year before he went out, but, maybe he can return from injury, give us that little caption that says he scored after a long injury layoff and help us get a couple of points against Man United today. Looking at the match preview, because we very rarely look at it, we are inconsistent at the moment. Only one win in our previous 5, a 1-0 victory to Burnley. United, of course, excellent form, 5 straight wins, including beating PSG, Tottenham, Bournemouth, Newcastle and Juventus. So they are smashing it at this point in the season. Of course, managed by Zinedine Zidane. You can't see that because it's hidden behind my head, I've just realised, but he's been at United for a couple of seasons now and is doing very, very well. We're going to submit the team. We're just going to relax a little bit. I'm going to chill. I'm going to find my zen. I'm going to find a calm place where I can sit and reflect and watch these games analytically to learn from and get better. And really, if you wanted to kind of take the big part for them, Man United is the level that we want to take Isle of Man to. We might be a long way from that at the moment, but this is the level that we eventually aspire to. They're playing Samuel Benitez, who of course played for us for a couple of seasons. Had one great year for us in the Championship before getting his big money move to United. His progression probably hasn't been what he'd want it to be. He's only made 54 appearances over the last 3 seasons. I think they rotate in and out as they need to, but technically you can see his attributes here, just absolutely fantastic. Mentally, very, very good as well, and physically, probably some improvement, but he's still only 22. He's got a whole bunch of football ahead of him. He was a great player for us, and now he's proving that he can be a great player at a Champions League level as well. Guardiola is their big star player. He usually plays up front. They're playing on the right wing today. I think he's also under some transfer interest from Chelsea. He was at Valencia for a few years. He's now in his 3rd season at Man United. You can see here, just smashing it this season. 7.29 average rating in the Champions League, 9.5 in the UEFA Super Cup, 7.24 for the year in the Premier Division, and an 8.53 so far in 3 appearances in the FA Cup. He is an absolute beast of a player and one that we're going to have to keep an eye on. We did manage to snag a point against United last season in the same fixture. It'll be interesting to see if we can turn around our form and get a similar result today. But as we know, once you reload a game, anything can happen. We're going to assertively tell everyone it's time to put an end to our poor run of form, and at least everyone's responded positively. I think we do have quite a few different areas that we want to try and improve in the off-season. I think finishing has been a big one, and I think just in terms of our depth in those wide positions, we've got 2 great starting wingers. We probably need to get a couple of additional wingers that are at 1 to kid level so that we can rotate as form dips and fitness changes and all that sort of stuff as well. 20 minutes in, not a whole lot in terms of highlights. We've just had our first shot, but it wasn't on target. Not a lot from United either, though, so we seem to be stifling them quite well. We're going to use our Get Creative shout with 10 minutes remaining in the half. And as things stand, we're probably going to get through the first half with no highlights. Just as I say that, they've got possession from a throw-in on the right-hand side. Into Benitzi. Quadio, now Arouge. Back to Quadio again. He's gotten goal side, and Kubis does very well. Comes out, makes himself big, and forces it out for the corner. Just a simple triangle, and they just walked past it. Their off-the-ball movement is it's next level. Ball into Quadio, and again Kubis with a wonderful save. He's causing us all sorts of issues on that right-hand side at the moment. Benitzi with the corner here. Looks towards front post. Bloor with the header away now. Peacock flicks it on towards Phillips. Is there anything left in this highlight? It's not. The referee calls half-time. So at half-time, we've had 3 shots, none on target, and 55% possession. United, 9 shots, 6 on target, 45% of the ball, and those 2 highlights towards the end of the half. Assertively, we owe up Man United after what happened in our last match. Let's go with that. And let's also assertively tell our defence they weren't that bad, but we need them to start defending with a little bit more vigour, just to keep an eye on those chances that came towards the end of the half. As always, we'll give it 15 minutes before we look at subs, changes, whatever else. And again, we're not seeing a whole lot of highlights here as the second half gets underway. We're through an hour, so let's hit pause. And let's have a look at these average ratings and who we can change. Peacock, struggling. He struggled a couple of different times. We're going to bring on Jimmy Winter on that right-hand side. And Lua Barbosa, who's actually got, I think, a bit of a cloud over him at the moment because he's being scouted by a few different teams across Europe. And it seems to be impacting his performances. Assertively, we'll tell both Jimmy Winter and David Cambridge coming on that we have faith in them. And we're also going to use our Get Creative shout with about 30 minutes remaining. Not looking to change anything in terms of our team instructions or mentality. I think positive is more than fine. And we want to keep that short passing possession style going so that we effectively keep the ball away from Man United. Throwing here on the right-hand side, though, for them. Bruno Eduardo with the ball in. Klimovicius back to Eduardo again. Cut back towards Julberg, who brings it down quite well. We close him down very well in the penalty area. Benitzi, now Moya. They've got Bruno Eduardo still out on the far side. He puts a reverse pass into Moya, who looks a square ball, and thankfully Escobar's there. Kubis with an excellent save, and Escobar on hand to put that one out for the corner. It's going to be Moya to take. They've brought on a couple of subs here. You can see the pace increasing with each of these highlights, but we managed to get rid of it. They're showing me this highlight. I don't know why they show those. If it was a goal, you'd have given a goal, right? It's a video game. That's how it should work. 10 minutes remaining. We're going to look at making that last sub. Bloor hasn't had a great game, so Nestor Rossi will come on. We'll see if maybe he's a super sub. He can have some sort of positive contribution. Tell him we've got faith in him. He does seem motivated, to his credit. And 10 minutes remaining, we need to use our demand more shout as well. The point wouldn't be the worst result, but it would mean we've had 5 games without a victory. And so far, we haven't even had a highlight in this match. 4 minutes of additional time to be added on now, which we've rocketed through. And the referee calls full time. It's a boring 0-0 draw, basically putting everyone to sleep. But in the end, we had 7 shots, 3 on target, 52% possession. Not a single highlight that we saw in the key highlights there. United, 18 shots, 11 on target, 48%. We were definitely backs to the wall trying to keep them out. Assertively, I'm going to say, well done, you've proved a lot of people wrong in avoiding defeat. And we'll end that team talk. Now, here's what always puzzles me. I know Man City probably scouted us as like a next opponent scout report. I'm curious if us going positive means they know what we're going to do and they'll set up differently, or do we stay on positive because we know it just worked against Man United? It's always a bit of a challenge. There's a part of me that wants to switch to attacking, but I think I need to resist that temptation and just focus on defence and possession first. Cooper's got the Man of the Match award, which probably speaks volumes about the game itself, a 7.45 match rating and 7 held saves, a tremendous effort from him. We also picked up 4 yellow cards, in that match, so I think we were probably kicking them a little bit more than they were kicking us. We do have a full week off before the game against Man City. Gary Lester also can come back into the lineup, having served his suspension for his red card last time out. Otherwise, though, I don't think there are any real changes that we need to try and force through. So magic editing, we're going to jump forward to the game against Man City now and look at both lineups. So just like that, we are a week ahead now. We are in poor form now, and they are inconsistent. Thomas Tuchel is the manager now at Man City. You can't see him because he's hidden behind my head, but he's been talking shit throughout the course of the week, so I'd love to get a good result here today. We do have team selection issues of our own. Kubis is injured. He has picked up throughout the course of the week some pulled ankle ligaments. It's going to be out 2 to 9 days, which unfortunately means he misses out today. Paul Brady will come in for, I think... Well, actually, did Paul Brady... No, he's at Everton. I nearly thought for a second he was at Man City previously. He'll come in and make his first league appearance for us, having previously appeared in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. We lost both those games. I'm hopeful that by playing with the full-strength lineup, a better defence in front of him, he will have a better time today. But we'll see how we get on. Not an ideal change. Otherwise, I think we're going to go with an unchanged lineup. We're going to have faith with this group. And if we don't get a good result today, We are just going to go hell for leather, all-out attack for the remaining 4 games of the season to try and secure a top half finish and potentially at a super long shot, a Europa League spot. So looking now at the City lineup, it is a 4-2-3-1. The only player still in their lineup that I think is a real player, Phil Foden, now 32 years of age. He has had a magnificent career. 358 appearances for City, 75 goals in that period, 4.5-star current ability and potential at the moment. Made 132 England appearances, which is absolutely insane. I wonder if that's a record, actually. Let's go and have a look at the England records. It's actually Marcus Rashford with 165 appearances. That is crazy. But still, he's still playing in the England squad. He's still their number 10, so he must still be operating at a high level. Always interesting to see how those kind of like starting wonder kids actually finish up 14, 15 years into a career, and he looks to have turned into an absolute star of world football. In midfield, Gökhan Keklik, 24-year-old German midfielder, looks to be a decent messiah, 19 dribbling, 16 first touch, 18 passing, 16 technique. He looks to be a very tidy prospect that they picked up from Wolfsburg at some point. We've got Ha Zhangyu, a Chinese midfielder, 29 years of age. He's been at Man City for a good few seasons now, 5 years, after joining from Real Madrid. Real Madrid, funnily enough, picking him up right at the start of this save. So I don't know if anyone else has seen like a Chinese superstar come through at the very start of their own youth intake, but if you have, let me know in the comment section below. He looks very decent. Like all of this technical ability, the minimum he's got is 11, which is just crazy. Good mental attributes as well, physically slowing down a little bit, getting towards his 30s, but looks to be very good. We've spoken about Toby Owens before. He was a pain in the ass. Gregory Francois, a player that we've kept an eye on for ages. We initially tried to pick him up from Rennes, but Rennes wanted ridiculous money. Eventually went to Man City for only £12 million, which was quite frustrating, if I'm being completely honest. But he has turned into one of the best young players in world football. A wonder kid central defender. They're tricky to get. Still only 19. Surely a French national sooner rather than later. And a ball-playing defender on cover. He would have been a great one for us to pick up. But unfortunately, we were a championship side when he moved to City. It just wasn't going to happen for us. Assertively, we are going to say we're huge underdogs, so there's no pressure on you. Everyone's responded positively. We managed to scrabble a point out of Manchester United. How are we going to fare against the blue side of Manchester? Keeping in mind, they will want 3 points to try and keep up with United on that final run to the title. Ball here, though, with Carlos Andrade in the corner. And Aguirre, I don't know why I say Andre all the time. Bloor with the strike. Okay, is he onside, though? The linesman hasn't moved, which makes me think it's going to get ruled out. Scott Phillips, I think, initially offside when he knocked it down. Similar story to the last game. We're through about 20 minutes without any highlights coming through. There was a late flurry from Manchester United. We'll see if Man City offer a similar flurry at the end of the first half. I'm going to use a get creative shout here with about 10 minutes remaining. They have immediately got a throw in. That might have been a mistake. Back to Brady. Now Francois. Across to Deitch. And we've left it 2v1 on the left-hand side. They've gone all the way back to Cerrone, thankfully, who takes his time in possession, giving us a chance to get back in our shape. Now out to Flassate, the left-back. Back into Keklik, who's been quiet, but we know that dribbling is something to be kept an eye on, and he bursts forward through midfield here. Now out to Brady on the right-hand side. They've worked it side to side very nicely. And Carazzo with a strike from the wide area. Clipped the crossbar on the way out. Didn't look like he had much to work with as far as angles are concerned. Another highlight here for Man City. Ball over the top towards Owens. Escobar's let it run, and Owens has gotten goal side, and he's found the finish. You can't give Toby Owens chances like that. He is the England national team striker. Only the 9th goal of the season for him. That's a disappointing year for him. But maybe they've got other players that they're resting today. This is frustrating because Escobar, he's so good out of the air, and he's been excellent all year, but he just kind of fails us at the wrong time. Brady, you wouldn't expect him to do too well on his Premier League debut. Comes out, but Toby Owens just slams it past him. And at half-time, we've only had 3 shots, 1 on target, but 65% possession. They've had 9 shots, 6 on target, 35% of the ball. I'm going to aggressively say I expect to see a much better showing from you in the second half, and at least everyone's responded positively. We've got 3 yellow cards to keep an eye on. Elliot Bloor's also picked up a knock, but I think we'll hold off and we'll give it 15 minutes before we look at making any subs or changes. Deep ball here back to Warburton. Now all the way back to Brady. Let's work it to the right-hand side, please. Don't go back into the same area if they've closed us down in that space. Leicester looks for Peacock in behind. It's a good ball. Can he find the finish? He does well, gets it on target. But Cerrone in the City goal, equal to it, forces it out for the corner. Aguire's delivery is usually very good. He goes back post now. Bloor challenges. Escobar falls to him. Back out to Aguirre again, who looks back post, but Francois just hacks it clear. Okay, they've got a wide free kick, which have consistently caused us issues throughout this season. Foden to take, looks back post, Toby Owens knocks it down, and they've managed to poke it home. Sean Brady, the right back, gets his 6th goal of the season. That is very frustrating. So we've got nothing to lose. Let's go back to our attacking structure. Let's make our subs. Blore hasn't had a good game. Nestor Rossi will come on. Maguire hasn't had a good game. Mariano Oru will come on. And then we're going to hold on that last sub just because there's so many players on yellow cards. Assertively, I have faith in you. Get out there and make a difference. There is a highlight here immediately from the kickoff. We'll see how this plays out before we commit to confirming those subs. Peacock, wide right area. Loses out to Cedron, and then Flasade tackles him again. Is that the end of the highlight? If it was, what was the point? What was the point of showing us that? We're also going to use our Get Creative shout. Everyone seems inspired, which is good, but in reality, we need to try and find some sort of finish. Wide free kick from Foden. He's gone for goal, and it's gone in. Brady, I can't be too critical of Brady. He's only a young goalkeeper. He's our backup goalkeeper. He wouldn't really be starting this game. This is not moving with that much pace. And Brady's right there. If he hadn't gone down to his knees, it would have hit him in the face and it would have counted as a save. Man City, though, really dragging Man United back into this title race. They have played a game extra, but now only 4 points behind. We're into the last 10 minutes. Let's make this final sub. And by the time I actually get it done, there won't be long left at all. Cedron has struggled. We'll bring on Brian Anonye, who, to be fair, hasn't played much and has been very patient throughout the second half of the season. Let's also use a demand more shout. Let's just try and keep this at 3-0. As I say that, I think we've just given away a free kick right on the very edge of the area. It was Oru, went through the back of Toby Jones. Foden with a chance to make it a double from set pieces. And he has done. That's a wonderful free kick. Much better than the first one. I can't be upset about Paul Brady for that one. We'll check it out here in 3 dimensions. And quite the game from Foden. Brady's standing in the middle of the goal and can't get across to it. We might need to strengthen our goalkeeper stocks for next season. In reality, we've been very, very lucky that Kubis has not missed any games this year. And just like that, a 4-0 defeat. We had 9 shots, 7 on target, 58% possession. For City, 15 shots, 10 on target, 42% of the ball. And this has been, even though we just had 4 goals and 4 highlights, one of the shortest episodes we've recorded so far this season. Assertively, not happy with the performance. Let's go with that. At least everyone's responded positively. And I guess, given that we've got some additional time, we might go through some tactical tweaks for the last 4 games of the season. And I think we're just going to go for broke. We will be playing tomorrow Bournemouth and Blackburn in 13th and 20th spots respectively, and then Villa, who are in 15th, and Norwich, who are in 11th. Norwich game might be massive for us because we might be fighting to stay in the top half of the division. Foden gets the Man of the Match award, 9.3 match rating. Tuchel is a piece of shit. He can go fuck himself. And Blore has got a bruised ankle, which he has spent more of this season injured and off the park than anything else. The fans are criticising the same approach that has taken us from the 10th tier of English football all the way to the Premier Division. Goddamn fair weather fans. Now we are going to clear out this squad entirely because I think everyone needs a break, and we're going to give everyone 3 days off. Just go away, just have a think about it, play Xbox, hook up with your wife, girlfriend, partner, whatever else. And tactically, what are we going to do? We're going to go attacking for these last few games of the season. I'm going to set the advanced playmaker just to play as a supporting role. Let's have this midfield 3 support the front 3. Let's go to a complete forward for Phillips, which seems to be his preferred role. And let's go wingers on attack. Let's also set our wing backs to support, which I don't think they're particularly comfortable with, but they're going to have to sort that out. And then to hell with ball playing defenders, let's go with a central defender on stopper and a central defender on cover. And if they need to hoof it clear over the top, let's hoof it clear over the top. But let's set ourselves up to really go after it in the next few games. I'm thinking I might make our passing directness just normal and maybe speed up our tempo a little bit as well, just to mix some stuff up here. We've got a much higher defensive line. Let's just make it higher, and let's just make it a high line of engagement as well. Turn off, get stuck in, so we don't commit too many fouls around the edge of the area, because Phil Foden, I'm going to have nightmares about him finding the top corner every single time we play Man City from here on out. And let's just have faith that we can go attacking in the last few games of the season, take it to some of these teams that are lower than us in the league, and try and secure a top half finish. Effectively, we are not in any way going to get anywhere near that last Europa League spot, which is fine. At the start of the year, we said we wanted to try and finish in the top 10. We want to do that, and if we can, let's try and catch Brighton. Let's try and potentially catch Liverpool 6 points ahead of us. As always, guys, I know these things can be difficult at times. We're not in great form, but we will turn it around. I've got faith that we have the group. we have the ability, we can get good results before this season ends. Otherwise, I don't know. Thankfully, we're taking a break at the end of this season and doing a one season wonder save. It'll give me time to like refresh and reset and figure out what we're doing during the off season. But if you want to continue helping me through this difficult time, drop a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on all our future videos. The link's just over on that side, at @InTheMixer_FM on Twitter. That's where we do all our interactions within the community. And if you ever want to reach out directly, you can do it in the comment section. I do respond to every comment that I get, but you can also send me a DM over on Twitter. Mine are always open. You can also check out our regular Twitch streams. Sunday night if you're in Australia, Sunday morning if you're in the UK at twitch.tv/InTheMixer_FM. But more than anything, thank you so much for watching. That's the part I appreciate the most. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the Mixer.